Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video on my channel. In this video I would like to talk about using the Askar SQA55 telescope in combination with a full-frame camera. So you clicked on this video because you're interested in whether you can really use a full-frame camera in combination with this telescope, and if this is your question, then this video will be very helpful to you. In this video I would like to talk about the specific equipment I've used for this test, and I would like to share some images with you I've captured. So over the last few months, I've captured multiple images with the Askar SQA55 telescope in combination with a full-frame camera, and in this video I would like to share the single images and the final stacked images with you in order to give you an idea of whether this telescope is really suitable for a full-frame camera. Before showing you the images, I would like to mention that this video is not sponsored and not being paid for it, and all products shown in this video were purchased by myself. But now, let's get started. So first of all, I would like to talk about the equipment I've used for this test. So here you can see the equipment I've used. So I've used two different mounts for the images you will see later on, but I would like to talk about the specific equipment I've used when showing you the single images. But I've used this setup most of the time, and the mount I've used is the Skywatcher HEQ5 Pro Go-To mount. On the top I've mounted the Askar SQA55 in combination with the Canon EOS 6D. In this case, it's the Canon EOS 6DA, so it's the astro-modified version of the Canon EOS 6D, which is a bit better for astrophotography because I can capture these images easier in the night sky. For controlling the entire astrophotography setup, I'm using the CWO ASI Air Pro. In order to be able to use a longer exposure time, I'm using an auto-guiding system on the top, so it's a 60mm guide scope in combination with the CWO ASI 120mm mini mono guiding camera. So this is the setup I've used for most of the images. But now let's go over to the images I've captured. So this is the first image I would like to share with you. So in the next 2 minutes I will show you multiple images in order to give you an idea of how good this telescope actually is in combination with a full frame camera. So this is a single image I've captured with the Askar SQA55 telescope. So you can see the North American nebula in this image. And when zooming in, especially in the center, you can see that the stars do look perfectly round as expected. So now let's go into these corners. So when zooming in, you can already see that the stars do look perfectly round. So you can see, even looking at the outer regions, the stars do look perfectly round. So this star is relatively bright. So in this case, you can see that the stars are perfectly round. So definitely this telescope is suitable for full-frame cameras. So in this case, this image is an image I've captured. It's not cropped, so this is what you'll get when using this telescope in combination with a full-frame camera. So now we're looking into the other edges and corners. You can once again see that this corner looks quite good as well. In this case, the corners or the stars aren't looking that good, but still they are nearly perfectly round. And when going into the other corners, once again, you can see that the stars do look perfectly round. So here you can see, even we're looking at these stars in the outer regions, these stars look perfectly round. So in order to really get an answer to whether the telescope is really suitable, I decided to stack all the images together, because sometimes you can only see these problems in the final stacked and processed image. Therefore, I would like to go over to the final edited image. So here we go. And when zooming into these outer regions, you can once again see that the stars are perfectly round, which means the Askar SQA55 is definitely suitable for full-frame cameras. Now I would like to share some other images with you. So this is another image I've captured with the Askar SQA55 telescope in combination with a full-frame camera. So this image has total exposure time of 30 hours. So the total exposure time is definitely quite long, I guess. So when zooming in, you can see that the stars do look perfectly round, even in the outer regions of the image. So this is the star that is in the edge of this image, and this star looks perfectly round. And even looking at these smaller stars, you can see that these stars do look perfect. So I've not expected the telescope to be that good, because there are actually only a very few telescopes out there that really perform perfect when using it in combination with a full-frame camera. But this one looks very, very good. So I'm definitely very happy with that one. So you have to keep in mind that most most dedicated astrophotography cameras to have very small sensors, and even when using a full-frame camera, like the Canon EOS 60A, the telescope performs perfect. So really, really good, definitely. The last image I would like to share with you is an image I've captured on La Palma. So this is a single image of the Blue Horsehead Nebula, and unfortunately in this case the tracking was not that good, but once again when zooming in you can see that the stars do look perfectly round, and even going into the final edited image you can see the Blue Horsehead Nebula very clearly. Unfortunately, the total exposure time is around 30 minutes, so not that long unfortunately, but still it's quite good I guess. And once again when looking into the outmost regions, these stars look perfectly round. I mean, just look at these stars, they are perfectly round. So even in the center of the image, these stars are not better. So that looks excellent. So definitely, I've never seen a telescope before, or I've never used a telescope before where the stars do look that good in the outmost regions of the image. So that is definitely very good, and I was definitely surprised when I zoomed into these images in the end, because I've not expected the telescope to be that good. So much said about using the Askar SQA55 in combination with a full-frame camera. So as you can see, it's definitely suitable for full-frame cameras, and the stars to look perfectly round in the corners. So definitely it's possible. If you have any further questions about using the Askar SQA55 telescope in combination with a full-frame camera, or if you have any general questions about this telescope, definitely feel free to ask me down below in the comments. I have already published a review about the Askar SQA55 telescope, so I will link the video right there. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure to check out this video. If this video was interesting and helpful to you, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, clear skies, Felix.